right?
Yeah.
Okay, now forget about it. It's still important, but forget about it for right now. Okay? 12, 6, and 3 is important theory, but if it becomes an absolute, you're going to get tagged. Right? Nothing can ever be absolute. So instead, you're looking for signs. First one is if I'm standing like this and I'm the attacker, how am I going to fight? I'm going to fight right here. Okay? I'm interested in putting my hands on him. So I'm here, I'm like this, I'm coming in, I'm going to cover that ground as quick as I can to get to him. The next one, if they're this way, they're mid-range fighter, they're boxer type. I'm going to step in and I'm going to try to hit. And then, I'm going to get it wrong, but in Aikido, you have this long arm motion. Right? That's because that person's prepared for dealing with 12-foot distance. If the arm's locked out, what can I do with this? Nothing. What can I do with this? What can I do with this? Anything. Right? So you're going to go from being, especially stiff here, to everything being completely relaxed so that you can deal with any avenue. Because I'm not going to punch him. Right? And I'm not terribly concerned as to how far away I am, as much as I am to seeing him move first. If he's like this, and then he does this and stops, I can assume that he's going to grab me in some way, shape, or form. And if he's really foolish, he's going to try to take me to the ground. Okay? And that is extremely foolish. Do you know why? Because for one, I can break your spine when you do it, but that's beside the point. That's been indoctrinated by the sports world, the idea that all fights go to the ground. In sport, they might, but you and your brother are rolling around the ground. What's going to stop me from kicking somebody in the head because I'm over here? Right? That's why it's not realistic. Okay? Fights aren't fair. When I was a kid, fights were reasonably fair. Two people got in a fight, everybody watched. Today, two people got in a fight, they're either hitting you with a camera, or somebody else is coming in and doing this, right? So you kind of get that idea out of your way. So now you're supposed to go wherever the weight on your foot is. So if my foot's on if my weight's on my left foot, I'm going to go to the right. But who says I can't predetermine that? Right? He starts to get aggressive. He's ready to go. I can go this way, right? Because I prefer to do it. Now, what can he do from here, from where I am? What's his next movement? He's got to regroup. And then he's going to regroup and he's going to fire with this one. Because he doesn't have much of an opportunity, so this is what's going to come next. So I can't stay there. Right? So as we go again, he comes through. Now you see what's happened. Just based on the fact that I put my hand in the way. Okay. We get this, I will go medium speed, we get this idea that I need to do something like this. Okay? I need to bang, block, replace, try to do that. Well, I don't have time to do that. Because as soon as I do this, he now knows where I am, and he's going to turn and fire as I try to turn and fire. Instead, if I end up going to the outside, this way, now I have to interfere. He goes to turn, I go to turn. Right? I'm just going to continuously put things in front of him. That's why I said don't worry about your arms. Now you're going to go back and you're going to do it again, but as you move, just keep your hands up. And if you touch, just touch. Don't worry about striking it. Because there's the idea that I should be doing something like this to get it down, and then something like this. No, it becomes my thought, this becomes what I want to do. And I don't get to decide what happens. He's the one who's going to decide what happens. Because it's his choice to engage this thing. I can't take that away from him. I can just make him not like what happens as we're doing it. Okay? It is at the highest level, self-defense has no body contact. And I even had a guy once, I was we had gone to, as a school, we had gone to the Buddhist temple in Niagara Falls. And my oldest son, Kurt, and I, pretty sure Scott was with us too, but he wasn't standing beside me when it happened. But I was wearing a school t-shirt on the back of it that said, "True self-defense, there's no body contact." And this guy behind me taps me on the shoulder and goes, "That's the biggest pile of crap I've ever heard." Guy's from Montreal. And I looked at him and said, "Why do you say that?" And he goes, "Well, I am," and he starts telling me about his martial arts experience. Okay? I said, "Oh, cool." And he says, "What, do you train?" I said, "Yeah, I'm a white belt in Windsor." And then he says, "Well, where do you get this idea? What kind of garbage is this?" So I went into some explanation about the fact that, the purpose of martial arts is to de-escalate the problem and do as little damage as you have to do to possibly walk away from it. And we had a conversation. He shook my hand. He bought us a beer. I win. Right? And that's the whole idea. So now, as you're gonna go back, you're gonna go. He comes just in there, and then take a look at what you've got and talk with your partner. What can he do next? Well, the only thing you can do next is to turn and hit me. So he turns and he hits me. And he goes back. What can I do to change this from exactly where I am? Well, if I lean on the arm a little bit, or we go back, right? If he turned to hit, what if I raised the arm a little bit? What if I just put my hand on his head? And there's nobody who can put up a fight there. Because the power is here, not over there. Right? Go ahead, practice.